Now the Christ or oil is secreted in the brain. Now that oil has flowed down to the sexual regions of the body. So that Kundalini or snake or dragon or asp or Leviathan, representing that Kundalini energy rising, just like in those movies, they'll have a cobra, and then they playing a flute music, cobra playing, and what, the snake's doing what? Rising up. That's symbolic with them. That's what? Music, sound, stimulating the Kundalini energy. So that cobra spiraling up as the music. Alright? That's what that represents. But of course we just think it's make-believe and Snake is doing this and he playing the flute. Because we don't know the science. That's all. It's just, entertainment. Oh yeah, look mommy, they got that cobra dancing, the little boy playing the flute. Alright? Another question. Thank you. Did I provide some clarity?
No, I did add the chakra being.
Oh yeah, the chakras. Thank you. The chakras. There are more than 7 energy points, but there's 7 major energy points called chakras. Chakra is a Sanskrit word means circle of fire. And so you have your lower 3 chakras, which the apron covers, and you have your 4th chakra, which is the heart chakra. The heart chakra. Alright? And you see pictures of the European that they falsely call Jesus, and the heart coming out, that's your 4th chakra. And you have your 5th chakra, your throat. And the crown, the thorns. Alright? Your 5th chakra, the 6th chakra is your pineal gland. You have the asp, you have the uraeus, and you have the cobra here. You call the uraeus, the crown. Alright? You have the dot here, and then you have your 7th chakra, or any headdress, kibar, turban, fez, mitre, crown, tiara. That's your 7th chakra. All right, then you have your turban wrap, and the turban that you wrap in the turban when you're doing. That's the spiral. That golden spiral, and that the golden spiral also representing, you have your flower of life, and then this is how the universe, the Milky Way, as it's spiraling, all right, it's expanding, and all right, so that's that Milky Way, that spiral. So that the double helix, the DNA. All right, so that's what that relates to. The number 33, the 33 vertebrae, and the number 33 dealing with the vibration of the earth, the Schumann resonance of 7.83 hertz. The number 33 in the movie Superman is 33, the Man of Steel. The Superman is 33 years old. And those from Krypton used a device, a sound device, and was wanting to change the frequency of Earth so they could take over Earth. But they had to change the frequency to match their frequency so they can live on Earth. So they used a device which they beamed down from Krypton to Earth, and you actually see the cars jump in the air. They're changing the frequency. So the number 33, and make sure you don't say it's an honorary degree, but what does it actually representing? The harmonics of the earth. So this knowledge is being preserved through signs and symbols, but in truth, family, they aren't symbols for the sake, they have a message of astronomy, or quantum physics, or the precession of the equinoxes. And we can't read. We can't read the symbols. It's right in front of our face, sitting in plain sight, but keep in mind, this was always done. This is not new. The hieroglyphs, pictograms, ideograms, this is not new. Even what they call the alphabet. Those are hieroglyphs. The A was what? Inverted, which is a bull's horn. That's your bull's head. And the bull was used for the bull, or the alphabet used for ancient calendar signs, tied to astronomy and agriculture. So that knowledge has been lost with us. Though it lies dormant, though it's laid dormant in the cellular memory, but we got to bring it to the consciousness. To continue to say that it's with us, and the Europeans continue ruling on us, that means nothing. To walk around saying it is with us in us, and the Europeans are still ruling over us. What does that mean? We got to get the Europeans to stop ruling. We got to stop being ruled over by the Europeans. We have to end European colonization of our Moorish land. All right? Now, I said earlier that the Europeans sued the brothers in 1919, the local chapter, and went on to the Supreme Court. Hopefully one day that the brothers will sue the Europeans. And hopefully one day that the brothers will file an injunction against the Europeans from wearing their Moorish feathers, to wearing Europeans that did against you. Europeans, fact, called y'all imitators. Europeans are arrogant. Europeans had the audacity in 1919 to call my brothers imitators. Excuse me, Europeans. Who are we imitating? You know what? I didn't know that these are your names. Arabian, Mecca, Medina, Morocco, Il and Bay. I didn't know they were your names. Who are y'all imitating? Of course we don't do that, though, I understand. Because we don't know. We continue to view them as the sovereign authority. So hopefully, one day that the brothers will file an injunction against the Europeans, forbidding the Europeans from wearing our Moorish fezzes, forbidding the Europeans from wearing our Moorish apron, forbidding the Europeans from wearing our Moorish regalia, forbidding the Europeans from using our Moorish names. The Europeans did do it against you. The problem is, it ain't belong to them in the first place. Another question. Yes, you got to come. Just come up here so everybody can hear. I know we're not on camera anymore, but.
Now, can you elaborate on
the
357 and winding stairs?
Yes. The 357 is on the flyer. The winding staircase, that's on the flyer. You'll see a picture of. I think I have in this here. This might be another one. I'll tell you here. I might have a picture of the winding staircase. It's in this one. Is that? Nah. All right. You go back. All right. The 357. The winding staircase used in masonry represents what's called the Great Celestial Conjunction, the Grand Celestial Conjunction, 357, Orion. So there's 3 sets of stairs. You have your first set of stairs representing as 3, representing the 3 pole stars of Orion's belt. The second set of stairs are 5, Taurus. Taurus is the constellation of 5 stars. the third set of stars, of which there are 7. 7 represents Pleiades. That's Pleiades, a constellation of 7 stars. 3, 5, 7. Now that winding staircase, or 3, 5, 7, you see on July 4th in Egypt, that alignment. And you'll see that same alignment here in the Northern Hemisphere on January 1st. So what they're celebrating on January 1st is actually that alignment, 3, 5, 7. That's the, January 1st is still yours. January 1st is still yours. Now, I love my brother. I gotta say this because, you know, people say, you know, you hate on the brother. Malala Karenga. And I love the brother for the work he's done over the years. You know, developing Kwanzaa. December 21st, the day after the 25th. And I understand that Malala Karenga wanted to take the commercialization out. You know, though we did make, you know, we had 7 to 10 day lavish celebrations, but we didn't spend no millions of dollars and stuff like that. So I understand Malala Karenga's position. Now since I was 19 years old and back in college, I've attended quite a few Kwanzaa celebrations over the years. I've heard hundreds of people, of our people, make the claim that they use Kwanzaa as a substitute for Christmas. That they no longer celebrate Christmas, but now celebrate Kwanzaa. Now, Malala Karenga didn't do it for that. So I'm not saying Malala Karenga, so I'm going to make it very clear. I am not saying that Malala Karenga said that Kwanzaa is a substitute for Christmas. I never said he said that. I'm saying I've heard hundreds of our people say that they use Kwanzaa as a substitute for Christmas and no longer celebrate Kwanzaa, and I was one of them. And that was projected in the Black Culture Club at Glasgow State College in 1989, 1990, 1991. That was projected. That Christmas is a white man's holiday. That was projected. I've heard hundreds of our brothers and sisters say that Christmas is a white man's holiday, that they ain't going to celebrate the African holiday, Christmas, Kwanzaa. I'm not saying that Malala Karenga said that. I'm not saying Malala Karenga said that. Now, I'm not asking him to clear anything up. Just keep doing what you're doing, brother. Barashingo. What's now African, European holidays. European holidays and African people's mental genocide. Once again, you keep getting them your stuff. Christmas ain't no doggone European holiday. Once again, it's the winter solstice. Has nothing. You don't have to celebrate it. You don't. It's that. It ain't. You don't need you. It's when the sun. What you're doing is celebrating the birth of the sun. When the sun, which is good to celebrate because now you know the days are getting longer now. Because you know sun is at its being at its lowest point of declination, hovers for 3 days, and I showed you right to you where the days are getting longer incrementally. Now, what does that have to do with Europeans? That is theirs. That deals with late nature. All right? Another question. Yes.
The question to you is about the 3-letter, 4-letter. There's been some comments about who's clandestine, who's legit. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, please?
right, so well, during the course of my presentation, I explained that we taught Europeans in Europe. I did break down some of the symbolism and the astronomical origin and connection. So my presentation, and I did make clear that the titles, the pure potentate, sovereign grand commander, belong to us by birth, and noble, and belong to us by birthright. Now the 3-letter, 4-letter is a political debate within orders, the orders. What I present is the origin of the symbols and the titles and how they relate to us by birthright. By continuing to do that and get that understanding across, that will kill that debate. Because if the claim is that the apron and the titles belong to the orders, the titles don't belong to the orders. The title noble, I mean, thank you, brother. Now I'm getting these up now. The title noble. Now, these brothers who are Shriners are nobles by blood. Whether you belong to the shrine or not, you're a noble. Whether you belong to the shrine or not, you're a noble. Whether you belong to the shrine or not, you're a noble. The title nobility is a hereditary birthright title having nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the shrine. I'm saying it that way, brother, because you told me to break it down. Had nothing. The Europeans stole that. And they're claiming that an officer in the shrine is a noble. Shut up, you're a liar. That's a hereditary birthright title. Now, somebody, anybody, explain to me how that has to do with the shrine. How does a hereditary birthright title passed down by bloodline, by royalty, have anything to do with the shrine? Please, I give you the mic. Got the time. Explain to me how that belongs to the... Somebody, explain to me how that belongs to the shrine. Please. How does that belong to the shrine? Now, the way I'm presenting, I am eradicating that debate, that 3-letter, 4-letter. Those titles belong to us. Now, our brothers who are Shriners, they are nobles, not because they're Shriners. Our brothers who are Shriners here are indeed noble, not because they're Shriners, because they're Moors by blood. And that title belongs to them, you, us, by bloodline. That title of nobility, of being nobles, has nothing to do with their membership with the shrine. That's what I'm here to clear up. That misconception gives Europeans mandate. Because we continue, once again, the Europeans are the ones, not the brothers. The brothers didn't do this. The brothers did not configure this like this. The only thing that the brothers are imitating is the way that the Europeans configure this. I will call the brothers imitating Europeans the way they configured this. So we want to call the brothers imitators, Europeans, yes. But the symbols belong to us, but not the way the Europeans did this. The Europeans put the Moorish scimitar above the crescent star, representing our defeat. the control of our land, the occupation, European occupation and colonization of our land. That's what this represents. The Europeans did that. So the only thing I would charge the brothers in imitating Europeans is this, the way they're configuring. I'm telling it like it is. I didn't come here to, I'm telling it like this. I'm doing it in love, and I'm breaking it down, explaining. All right, another question. Criticism. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're going to have to show me I don't know what I'm talking about. You can say I don't know what I'm talking about, but you got to prove to me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I want to ask you. Okay, you say this is their way that they did this. What would be the correct way that it could be if it was supposed to go the way we did? I don't know.
Give me a hand. For starters, remove the scimitar above the crescent star. Just take the scimitar, move it, and take it off. All right? Just take off the scimitar, that's it. Just take the scimitar off. That's it. Just take the scimitar, don't take the scimitar off. Put it in the back. Put the scimitar in the back. Just remove this. Don't put it, they got somewhere they have it in here between the heart. You'll see some is where it's in between the heart, above it. Just remove the scimitar. That's it. And put it in the back. That's it. But this, that's a no-no. It's a no-no. Now I know our brothers don't know that, but keep in mind the Europeans did this. So don't blame the brothers. Don't blame the brothers, because the brothers didn't do this. The brothers are imitating the Europeans in this. Can I get an Amara?
Amara.
Another question. Another question. Got this time for question and answer, so I gotta. Yes.
Rhetorical question for you, but is nationalization the only way to bridge the connection between Moors and Masonry? Is nationalization the only way to bridge the connection between Moors and Masonry?
All right, let me explain what nationalization is. Today, millions of our people are classified in the United States Census Bureau, millions of the natives. Millions of the natives of the land. Millions of the natives of this land are today classified in the United States Census Bureau as black, Negro, colored, and African American. They're not black, Negro, colored, and African American. They're classified as black, Negro, colored, and African American. That classification does not afford our people constitutional and treaty protection. Article 15 of the 1948 United Nations Human Rights Proclamation reads, everyone has a right to a name and nationality. I'm going to ask this question. Is black, do not answer, is black a nationality? So if I were to ask any one of you, what is your nationality? And you answer black, you did not answer the question. What is your nationality? Black, you didn't answer the question. What's your nationality? Black, you didn't answer the question. You either don't understand the question, but you certainly didn't answer the question. Black, and I will challenge anyone, any one of you or anyone you can bring in front of me, to prove to me that black is a nationality. One. So what is black? How does Moors being classified as black, what does that do to us politically? That's what the brother was being, all right? What does that mean politically for us? It means you have no standing in law. To have standing in law. All right. To come under constitutional protections, you must what? Have a nationality. Or which you do, but you've been classified. The Europeans are the United States, which is not the name of this country. Brother, tell the people, what is the name of the country that they was born in, that they currently live in?
Morocco.
I'm going to ask you again, what is the name of the country that these people here were born and currently live in?
Morocco.
All right. Notice he didn't say United States, because that's not a country. It's not a country. And Irish code, it's a what? Corporation. And not a country. So let me continue. You have the title Imperial Divan. The brothers who are Shriners know what I'm talking about. All right, let me say this. They are familiar with the term. I mean, they may not know what I'm talking about. They are familiar with the term Imperial Potentate. Imperial Divan. D-I-V-A-N. Imperial Divan does not belong, that title doesn't belong to the shrine. That's a Moorish government title. The Imperial Divan, today, the occupational power called the United States are functioning the Moorish Imperial Divan. Today they use the term presidential cabinet. They substituted the term Imperial Divan for presidential cabinet. I got the outline in Mosi Masonry. So the brothers are familiar with the term Imperial Divan, but they don't, once again, they only connect it to themselves as part of the order, but not connected to themselves as birthright. All right? So this is the Moorish government that the Europeans are running, and the title Grand Wazir was substituted for the title President. Donald Trump today seated in the seat of the Moorish Grand Wazir. Donald Trump functions as a substitute Grand Wazir. They use the title President. They simply what? This is our Moorish Republic, and they simply substituted the titles. They substituted the title Wazir, W-A-Z-I-R, V-I-Z-I-E-R, V-I-Z-I-R, for Secretary. And a Wazir or Vizier is a Moorish high-ranking official. They substituted Wazir for the word Secretary. Secretary of what? Treasury. Secretary of what? Defense. Secretary of what? Education. They are what? Substitutes Wazirs. As this is the, what's the name of this country?
Morocco.
Oh, thank you, brother. Another question. All right, let me finish. All right, let me finish. I said, and I didn't elaborate, that Masonry and Moorish science are one and the same. I did explain to you what Masonry is, which is Moorish science. I did explain. I gave you examples. I gave you clear examples, and I elaborated on it, on what Masonry is. So, all of you today have some idea what Masonry is. All right? We talked about the winding staircase and the checkerboard floor and the pillars, 2 pillars are born. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, I'd like to know. My name is Herman Bird, and I'm the same order. So I want to know, when we were born in the United States, we were given a birth certificate. We are classified collateral. What classifies that as for us to be collateral?
All right, let me clarify some points. Go ahead, brother. I'm gonna clear it up. All right, the brother said that we were born in the United States. I'm gonna be very. What's the name of this country?
Morocco.
All right. This is not the United States. It's landmass. This is not the United States. So when he says born in the United States, he doesn't mean, it does not mean born here. Doesn't mean born. All right, so let me explain the phrase born in the United States. Now explain that. Let me first explain that. I'm telling you what it doesn't mean. Because you already know, brother, both Europeans and us think it means this. They think it means being born somewhere here. It's born in the United States. They think it's being born somewhere here. It doesn't mean that. The phrase born in the United States means born on paper. The birth certificate represents you being born in the United States. Once again, not here. Having nothing to do here. Born on paper. So the collateral. So the birth certificate is a trust instrument. So they created these trust documents and they are making finance on the stock market by bundling them and selling them as stock, as a bundle. And you can get your Dun & Brads and you have to see how much it's worth, because it's yours. You see how much it's worth. And it's continues to going up. How old are you, bro?
79.
All right, so it's probably $2 million. No, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. But I want to be very clear that born in the United States has nothing to do with land. All right? All right? You're welcome. Another question. Yes.
Can you break down the etymology of the word blunt?
All right. I don't need that, brother. All right, he wants me to break it down. Etymology is the history, origin, and true meaning of words. Etymology is not the study of words. Etymology is the study of what? The origin and true meaning of words. Semantics, S-E-M-A-N-T-I-C-S, is the study of words and how words acquire new meaning and connotations. That's semantics. Etymology is the study of the origin, true meaning, and history of words. Blague comes from the Indo-European root, and Indo. So you got to see how. See now, this is all right. Indo-European roots. Indo means Sanskrit. Indo-Indian, India, has been anglicized. The Sanskrit word, its origin, which is named a river, Sindhu, S-H-I-N-D-U, Sindhu. When the Moors took over modern day India, the Moors ruled India for 1,000 years. There's a book titled Medieval India Under Mohammedan Rule, 712 to 1763. We the Moors Arabicized Persian words and Sanskrit words. When the British took over, they anglicized words. So Sindhu to Hindu, Arabicized to India. Sir Walter Jones, studied at the University of Calcutta in 1717. He studied Sanskrit in 1717 at the University of Calcutta. In studying Sanskrit, he recognized a connection with Germanic words and Latin-based words, as Sanskrit being their origin, the languages being their origin. So you have what's called the Indo-European languages. It's Sanskrit, origin being Sanskrit. Bleg, B-H-L-E-G, is the Indo-European root for the word black. Blanca, the word blanca, blank, bleach, or fits in the same family as the word black. Black, bleach, blank, Blanca, translate. Casablanca, translate. Casablanca, translate. Casablanca, translate. Thank you. Blade means bright, shine. So the blade is the sunlight, as you have chlorophyll is to plants, as what melanin is to what? Us. The sun, you see where it goes? The sun stimulates the serotonin in the brain. So black relates to that. It's as its origin. Now, politically, black takes us out of the constitutional fold of government. You have the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between Morocco and the United States of 1787. Now there were major debates in the state delegates, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Delaware, Maryland, in the 1774, 1775, 1776, 1777, 1778, 1779, there were major debates, ongoing debates on whether to continue the 200 years customary, European customary practice of paying the Moors tribute or put the money for defense. A major debate. A major debate in the Continental Congress went on. Thomas Jefferson, who was against continuing the long-standing practice, European standing practice of paying the Moors, us, annual tribute, he wanted to put the money to build a navy for defense. Now, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, who was Secretary of Foreign Affairs under George Washington administration, they had that challenge there. So the Treaty of Peace and Friendship was a major, the #1 issue of the United States, as they could not continue to pay the annual tribute. Between George Washington administration and John Adams administration, the United States paid Morocco $10 million in tribute. This was a major. The treaty, Barack Obama, who when he was president, during his presidency, and Bill Clinton during his presidency, both said that the first country to recognize the United States was Morocco. In 1777. Where is this in textbooks? We're talking about major issues. Michael Oren, I ain't talking out of my butt. Michael Oren, who graduated from Columbia University at New York, who is currently the United States and Israeli ambassador to the United States. He is the Israeli ambassador to the United States, graduated at Columbia. He did a lecture at his former university, Columbia. He stunned, shocked his own professors. Michael Oren talked about the debates that occurred in the delegates. As you know, it costs a lot of finance to build a navy. So this vacillating on whether to put that finance up to build the navy. Eventually, the Congress appropriated $10,000 for 7 frigates, and that was the Navy, United States Navy. So my point I'm making is there's a correlation of the activities of the United States and the Moors. George Washington, on December 1st, 1789, writes Muhammad ibn Abdullah, who was Emperor of Morocco from 1757 to 1791. He gave favor to the United States 1777. Samuel Huntington, who was president of the Continental Congress in 1780, receives a letter and writes a letter that addresses His Imperial Majesty, His Imperial Majesty, His Imperial Potentate, His Sovereign Grand Commander, His Royal Monarch, as Muhammad ibn Abdullah was the Royal Monarch, Sovereign Grand Commander, Imperial Potentate. Those are our titles. We're going to end that 3-letter, 4-letter. How do you end it, Abdullah? Give my brother and sister the Moorish origin, the birthright nationality connection that will eradicate, kill, end the argument. Give them the birthright issue. My brothers and sisters, I love you dearly, but that debate empowers the Europeans. The Europeans orchestrated that for you. You are feeding into their hands of divide and conquer. The Europeans took advantage of our division. There were 4 or 5 Moorish dynasties that ruled Europe for 800 years. Those Moorish dynasty came into power by defeating the reigning dynasty. The Europeans took advantage of that. They took advantage of our division, of our fighting each other. They united their forces. The aristocrats funded the Knight Orders, the Knights Templar, Knights of St. Stephen's, Knights of Malta, Knights of Chameleon, fought against us in the Battle of Naves Los Tolosa, 1212. Malta was a strategic area where it was positioned. That order wasn't called the Knights of Malta. It was given the name Knights of Malta after being moved to the Malta, that strategic area. They united their forces in the Battle of Naves de Tolosa, and he handed the Moors a heavy blow. The only kingdom that stood after 1212 was Granada, in which we were able to maintain for an additional 250 years. Belvedere was the last Moorish king of Granada, or the last Moorish king of Europe. His head was cut off. So the Europeans, there's 2 meanings when you see Moorish heads in the European coat of arms, representing their heraldry, Moorish bloodline. Europeans are proud of the Moorish bloodline in Europe, all throughout Europe. Also, it means conquest. Belvedere's head was chopped off, and his head was paraded as a symbol of conquest. This is real talk. Those Knight Orders, today they exist as charity orders. Let's talk about how they were started. they were started to whip your butts. Those night orders were heavily funded to fight against you. There are also charity orders that actually did not exist. They're currently charity orders, but they will exist. They're called the Trinitarian. How much time do I have? Oh, you got questions? You have the Trinitarian and the Mercedarian. The Trinitarian was established in 1198. The Mercedarian 1213. Now, those orders were established for the sole purpose of raising monies to get Europeans out of Moorish captivity, as we held Europeans in Moorish captivity. This was a major issue in Europe. When we seized their ships, corvettes again, the Shrine Parade. So talk to me. Yes, brother. All right. So this history of the night orders. The night orders rose as military orders to fight. You have the Crusades. The Crusade was their attempt to regain control of Spain. In 1095, when they launched the crusade against the Moors, and the Battle of Los Naves de la Tosa was 1212. So those night orders that exist today, the Knights of St. Stephen's is worldwide. Knights Templar, Knights Malta, Knights of Round Table, Knights of Communion have nothing to do with you. How do I end this debate? Teach the history, Abdullah. Have nothing to do with you. What you did teach of knighthood. All right, let me explain. The principles of knighthood came from you, not from them. You taught them the principles of knighthood. All right? You taught them not to kill their enemy. You taught Europeans, when you captured someone, one of the leaders, is not to kill them. You taught them that. You taught meaning to have compassion even to your conqueror, the one you conquer. That was those are knight principles that we taught to Europeans. Chivalry was taught by the Moors to Europeans. But those night orders, there are military night orders, but today they exist as charity orders. You just don't know the origin of how they got started. Question, criticism, I don't know what I'm talking about. There's a 3-volume book, there's a book titled The History of the Moorish Empire in Europe, 3 volumes, The History of the Moorish Empire in Europe, 3 volumes by S.P. Scott. Each volume is about 400, 500 pages long. All right? So I got 2 minutes left. To get my book online, you go to one of my websites, moorsandmasonry.org. moorsandmasonry.org. All right? On that, I'll end. I want to thank Sister Maud. Please stand up. Calvin. Come up. For bringing me out here. All right? I want to thank you again. I trust. You said we ain't going to bring this brother back out here. You know, I want to go. All right. You got one question real quick? All right.
I'd like to know, where have you studied at?
All right. I spent 6 months, every other weekend. I was talking about today, I guess, for 6 months from September to, I've done a lot of independent research too, you know, as far as this book here. 6 months from September 1997 to February 1998 at the National Archives, every other weekend, the National Archives in Philadelphia, researching letters. I came across the Consolidated Treaty Series by Clyde Perry, and in the spring of 1998, this is where I found the term impure divan. I found impure divan in the treaties. I have it right here. I'm sorry. The pure, right, and there, the term impure divan is in the treaties. I'm showing you that they come from the shrine. That the term impure divan didn't come from the shrine. It's in the treaties. Divan is in the treaties. The treaty between Morocco and England, Morocco and the Netherlands, Morocco and France, and Diane's there. How do you end the debate? In that 3-letter, 4-letter, do what I'm doing right now. That's how I do it. And that's a process. As I told my aunt, I'm a practical thinker. All right, I didn't expect to come here and they jumping up and down. Ooh, it's a process. And I will be back. On that, I end. Thank you very much. I have books and DVDs for sale. Books and DVDs for sale.